Jelly Chivani, highly experienced official, will get us underway then. Mamelodi Sundowns playing in their away strip of yellow and white. They'll attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. And quite incidentally, TX Galaxy not playing in red tonight, they play in blue. They'll play from right to left during the course of the first half. A man who's got more experience than most in the game of football, not only as a footballer but as an analyst as well. He's known as the General. His name is Teko Modise, and it's really good to be working with you tonight, Teko.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Evans. I think we're expecting a game that might not go as planned in terms of the goals that we've seen with Mamelodi Sundowns scoring in the past fixture, but also looking at a side that has been struggling. The last time they faced each other, they found joy, so they might maybe find solace into that. But it is a game of consequence for both sides. One is fighting for the championship, one possibly, just to avoid that playoff spot.
We are at that stage of the season where all these things come into play. In the first division, we've already had both sides relegated, although these are protests for the 15th place and the second relegation from Black Leopards. But Leopards and Barocca on the league table are relegated at the moment, and Kruger United have been promoted. Already some of the business has been done, but none of the business has been signed and sealed as far as the Betway Premiership is concerned. 4 sides that contest relegation. TX Galaxy on the cusp of being dragged into that playoff battle, and at the top of the table it's Sundowns and Pirates. One of the two of them will win the league, and then Kaiser Chiefs probably in the CAF Confederation position. The rest of the top 8 positions probably will be juggled around a little in the next week or so, this weekend and then next weekend, as all the matches will be played on respective Saturdays, this Saturday and next Saturday. But it's really good to have you with us on your World of Champions tonight. It's a lovely day in Nelspruit. Has been a lovely day, nice and warm, and the evening has got a bit of cool to it. It is winter in South Africa, and we're looking for the action to be hot. Mistake by Mbunjana, great save by Tapeire. Solis should have had the opening goal of the match.
Yeah, Silas should have punished the Mbunjana there, maybe lack of communication. They really gave Silas an opportunity to be able to put it in, but Tape they were able to save. And this is how Mamelodi Sundowns started against Wellen. Scoring early on into the game, you can see the intention here, but what a brilliant save they've been done by Tape.
Takes you back to that 6-0 loss against Orlando Pirates, and Mbunjana had a back pass towards his goalkeeper and went past Iro Tape's stranded right arm, and that was there was a lot of speculation on social media about a whole lot of different subjects, but we won't go there. Just about a repeat in a similar situation from the Sundowns camp. What sort of match are we seeing here tonight? Is it tight legs, too much of a season?
Yeah, it is one of those games, especially for both sides. You know that you can't afford to make a mistake. You don't want to be trailing trailing early on into the game, so you need to manage your emotions. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, rather, it is a pressure game. They need to get into the score sheet as early as possible.
Ball driven in towards Brian Leon. What a season he's had. He's played 8 times in the starting lineup. He's got 8 goals to show for it. Another opportunity for Solis. There was a deflection that could have been crucial for Iro Tape. Mamelodi Sundowns have made it very clear. The intentions are towards that goal difference, which is +7 in favour of Orlando Pirates. And Mamelodi Sundowns trying to do all they can as far as that is concerned. Opportunity wide now for another chance. At a bit of a wasted effort from Kutlano Letlaku. Salas has taken a knock in the process.
Yeah, you can see here as his eyes was fixed to the ball. Fortunately for Zulu, they also was taking the ball, but it felt nicely there for Letlaku that it could have done better. This is the game that, of course, TX Galaxy will try and deploy. Be a little more physical, but Letlaku there was let down by his right foot. He's looking to find Leon there in that box.
Long ball intended for Victor Letsuwalo. Sidwin George in there as well, the 34-year-old former Royal AM player. Nice little touch from Mpumfalazi, playing a lot further forward, and the crowd will go up, those in the red colours of TX Galaxy, in support of the goal striker, but the offside flag from given Letlaku. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, you look at here, of course, It was Letsoalo who was just slightly ahead of Mamelodi Sundowns defense. Good call from the referee.
Another opportunity. The fans getting very excited about the prospects of Maflambi. The referee has pointed to the penalty spot. It's a lot of shaking of heads that's going on. It hasn't been converted yet, and we spoke about this on our way up here. Whether if a penalty was given, whether Julian Zindoga would take it. Well, he's not going to because he's on the bench, because he missed one. And I think he's missed 2 in a row.
Yeah, he did. And look at how clever Maflambi is. We spoke about his impact when we were doing the build-up. He realized that Duyel is on his right-hand side because the ball is exposed. Of course, as a defender, you want to try and poke the ball. What he did then, what Maflambi was put his foot just on his way of Duyel, and not to try and maybe poke the ball, but then I think there was a chip, and then the referee positioning himself to decide that it was a penalty for TS Galaxy.
Ronald Williams under a bit of scrutiny. It's going to be Victor Letsoalo who will take it. He's got 3 league goals so far this season as Victor Letsoalo. And a bit of gamesmanship being played here by the national team goalkeeper and captain. The referee, Jelly Chivani, comes over and says he's got to get in his line. I'm a little bit surprised that the referee's jersey, the assistant referees and the goalkeeper of Mamelodi Sundowns have the same colour jerseys. Not happy with that. Letsoalo! Cool, calm and collected.
Very, very composed there from Victor Letsoalo from the spot. Doing that famous run that we've seen all over the world being done just to make sure that the goalkeeper moves first. And he was able there to punish Ronald Williams, putting TS Galaxy ahead early on into this game. Under 7 minutes, they have so much to do that at TS Galaxy, but here, this is where it all matters. Look at the way Maflambi puts his foot just there when the ball was exposed, and then Duyelo there, falling for that trap, but Victor Letsoalo could come collected, using his experience to beat Ronald Williams.
That's a very well taken penalty. As you said, that little hop and a skip and a bit of aerial before he gets his foot to the ball and beats Ronald Williams, who's conceded 5 goals now in the last 2 matches. It's not the sort of start that Miguel Cardoso would have wanted. And Orlando Pirates are looking at it and saying, well, the goal difference is now +8 in our favour. However, we spoke about it at the beginning of the match. Points, they say, are more important than games in hand.
Yeah, you could hear Coach Cardoso speaking and emphasizing on how important the points are, and that you need to win your game, because in terms of the goal difference, especially when you're having a last game like this, they might be too far-fetched, but the 3 points are still there for the taking, and you need to play your game and be able to control what you can.
Keegan Johannes playing in the centre of defence today with Grant Kakana. Hasn't had much game time this season. It's only his 8th appearance of the campaign. The TS Galaxy look as if they're up for this tonight, and grabbing first ball, grabbing second ball as well, and a little bit of a tickle there on Seluleko Maflambi. The referee continues though. Mamelodi Sundowns might rue that opportunity, that missed chance when the ball was gifted by Mlungisi Mpunjana to other Salehs. Take nothing away from the Ivorian, former Ethiopian-based Tope Ira. Made an absolutely terrific save.
Indeed, indeed. He came out and made himself big, and I think those are the early opportunities that Mamelodi Sundowns could have taken, especially with Silas, of realizing that Tape was coming to charge him. Maybe just a little bit of a lob there, maybe just to disguise that part, maybe put Mamelodi Sundowns in front, changes the complexion of the game, but TS Galaxy made sure that with the opportunity that they got, rather, twice they entered Mamelodi Sundowns box. The first one was an offside from Letsoalo, the second one was a penalty. They took that opportunity.
With a huge role to play in this one. He's had a tremendous season so far as the Chilean. Ball into the middle, Sales again, not quite the pickup he was looking for, not the return ball either from Brian Leon. He's been terrific in the Betway Premiership. Brian Leon has been terrific as far as the CAF Champions League is concerned as well. And let's not forget that on Sunday this week, Mamelodi Sundowns play host to Asfar from Morocco in the first leg of the CAF Champions League final. Villiers Kezulu, formerly from Richards Bay FC. Just giving too much ball, for my opinion, to Brian Leon and to Salles. And the cover has to be there. Bunjana comes to the rescue once again, and he might have made that mistake. And you know, one's mind when that ball fell to him, and he pushed it into the path of Salles, and fell to that back pass against Pirates. And don't forget, on that day, TX Galaxy had their worst match of the season, conceding 6 without scoring. They have scored tonight. Well read by the 28-year-old Ivorian goalkeeper, who played at Hadia in the Ethiopian Premier League, and the visiting supporters very, very happy to see the sort of skill that's being shown by Allende, and out on that far left flank as well. It's quite evident that Mamelodi Sundowns want to ping as many high balls as they can into the penalty area, and they do have their target man in Arthur Salles. But does it need a little bit more than just that? Ndunyowa in trouble again.
I'm sure Matambi will take advantage of the fact that maybe the confidence also been gained from, you know, winning that penalty. So whenever there is a 1v1 situation, that's why he's very, very good at. So it is going to be that uphill battle from Dunyela. Need to make sure that maybe, you know, give him the line, and then maybe then, only then maybe you can possibly put your body in there, because he's a little bit stronger than him. But whenever it comes 1v1 as a winger, that's what you want most of the time, and we know how good he is Matambi in those type of situations.
Free kick whipped in by Sianda Kolo. 4 versus 4. So basically Maduna coming across to provide a bit of cover. He has to change direction. Manages to prevent Allende from getting anywhere near his intention of bursting into the TX Galaxy penalty area. And that is a clear push from Etzolalo. Man down for TX Galaxy.
Yeah, this is the push from Victor Swallow to Johannes, just to try and maybe gain an advantage, but you can see the intentions from them as well. It's just to use the speed going forward, realizing that Mamelodi Sundowns with that high line, Victor Swallow will be the person that they go to in terms of maybe occupying the space that your Modiba leaves behind.
Let's have a look at the live table then. Mamelodi Sundowns on 68 points, having completed all of their matches. And Orlando Pirates has 2 matches to play, but only 3 points behind with a greater goal difference. For TX Galaxy, well, they'd be safe from relegation, they'd be safe from the promotion playoffs if Bernard Parker and his side are able to replicate what they did in the Nedbank Cup second round on the 21st of February. Some rather glum looks up in the dugouts for the dignitaries, and coach Miguel Cardoso considering his options. A little bit on the physical side from Allende on Opa Matong. Still receiving medical attention, so the elbow in the neck of the young fullback who's come through the junior ranks and has had a good season so far. His 21st appearance of the campaign. Bernard Parker having a chat to his fellow coaching staff. Chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns looking just a little bit cautious at the moment. This is how the penalty was conceded by Ndunyowa.
You can see that with that little bit of a jump that Leswalo had really forced Ronan Williams to move, and that gave Leswalo an opportunity to be able to slot it against where Ronan Williams went.
Yeah, a little shake of the head from Ndunyowa, and the referee quite rightly coming across and having a chat to Allende. And he's put him in the book as well, and I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, it was a little bit seedy there from Allende, especially after the ball has been cleared with that elbow from behind.
He's a fine player, and there's no real need for that. But it just senses maybe, or gives us an indication of the mood in the camp of Mamelodi Sundowns, and a sense potentially of desperation. And maybe it's a little unfortunate that they're having to play this match now, and the end of the Betway Premiership season coinciding with the finals of the CAF Champions League. But that's the reality of what it is. And Mamelodi Sundowns playing more matches than anybody else in the Betway Premiership, and this, as we said, is the finale, final match away from home as well. It's been a good season for Mamelodi Sundowns. 230 days since they lost against Bafana Bestende in September of last year. Just kept in play by Letlaku. Not able to make the turn either, Breon Leon. Ball pinged forward by Aubrey Mutiba. And everything that Mamelodi Sundowns are throwing at TX Galaxy, they're able to suppress at the moment. And it's fascinating to see just how organised, how patient TX Galaxy have been in the opening 16.5 minutes.
Yeah, but TX Galaxy, I mean, being a team that hasn't won a game in 13 games, you're in the lead already early on into the game against Mamelodi Sundowns that will try and, you know, poke holes and trying to create more goal-scoring opportunities and trying to be on the score sheet. Of course, then it allows you then to have a little bit more patience, because then you're not under pressure Mamelodi Sundowns is. But yet again, the game is still on. You need to also start creating more opportunities. I think the biggest concern will be when TX Galaxy have the ball, they need to use it well.
Knocked down by Sidwin George. Talking about knockdowns, Mokoena with a bit of a push on the back of an opponent. The ball slips out here to Ketlano Letlaku again. 20-year-old. He's only got one goal this season, but he's a pretty brisk fella in his 10th appearance for Mamelodi Sundowns. But still, the defence continues to be organised by the Rockets. Ndunyawa. Keegan Johannes, one of 4 players carrying 3 yellow cards into this encounter. Don't forget, the cards do get carried forward to the next season. Maklambi in space, still Maklambi in space. Sidwin George! 2-0!
Those breaks that we spoke of earlier as the danger of TX Galaxy whenever they do break. We spoke about Masambi being the important player. Whenever they do break, he needs to be the one that was on the ball, but whenever they play into the space, Letswala needs to be the one. But look at how interplay that they had. Look at the space that was created with that one touch that Masambi had to be able to create enough space in front of him, but also have options in front of him. Look at here dispossessing the ball, but the touch becomes such an important. But look, he joins the attack. Look at the amount of space that he has in front of him. Of course, he's a clever player, not playing the ball a bit early. Once he had pressure on him, he played the ball to George. What a good finish there. Just across Ronan Williams there.
Surely there can be no better time in the season to score your first goal for your club.
I can imagine the confidence that the team has. I mean, they've been struggling in front of goals. They 2 up against the Mamelodi Sundowns team that really defensively, there's been a question mark, especially compared to the last game, to the previous game that they had against Uelele.
Sidwin George played at Royal AM, played at Highbury in the first division down in Teberga. At the moment, TX Galaxy playing down to 10 men because Opa Motaong is still receiving attention on the near side of the pitch. And a good piece of defending then from Maklambi as well, showing that he's not just a one-trick pony by playing over the halfway line. Is your neck okay? How many fingers can you see? Can you get back onto that right-sided defensive position, Mr. Motaong? His needed out there. If you look at the other right backs, well, we've only got Solomon Letsowenyo, who is much more of a left-sided fullback, but you do have Patrick Fisher, the former Cape Town City player, who is on the bench. He's a right-sided fullback, the 23-year-old, and has played 12 times this season. Obamoto waiting for his return to the field of play. Sedwin George, in the meantime, trying to drop the ball into midway space, and Grant Kekana, I don't think there was anything purposeful in upending Sedwin George. Soles finds Allende. Bobby Madiba back to Johannes. Mamelodi Sundowns consolidating as Mamelodi Sundowns do, with the exception that there's a little bit more pace involved with that consolidation. Soles against Ndulnyenwa. Beg your pardon, Mbunjana. Mbunjana's done well initially anyway.
Now there's a lot that he has to do. Mbunjana defensively is going to be able to tuck into that centre-back pairing and make it fast, because you know that within the spaces that Mamelodi will try and poke, it needs to be very, very important in terms of getting into those spaces early on.
Another good touch from the 35-year-old captain of TX Galaxy. I can't imagine that TX Galaxy could have even thought about a start that they've had in this encounter. 2 goals without reply in the opening 20 minutes against the 8-time league champions. Letlako's foul on Maduna. Free kick to TX Galaxy, taken by Mbunjana. Sedwin George knocks it down. Allende tucks it back to Johannes. Now it's Mokoena. Waiting for the run to come. Letlaku, the man to provide it. Not a bad first touch either. Lovely little squeezer through the middle. Tope Ira makes another tremendous save. They've had opportunities tonight, Mamelodi Sundowns, and there's been a lot of criticism about Tope Ira, but I'll tell you what, you can't fault his opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, he has kept TS Galaxy in the game. 2 brilliant saves that he's pulled. First, early on, it was the Silas one with 1v1. Right now, he just pulled one against Leon.
Leon again, waiting in the middle. Mbunjana drops in between the centre-backs. Sundowns will have a corner. The 28th appearance of the season for Iratape. Sipa Masetti, who came from the Transnet School of Excellence, has had just the 1 match. Opportunity for the transition play that has cost Mamelodi Sundowns already this evening. It's good tracking back by Letlaku.
You can see the danger that TS Galaxy possess whenever they go forward with that speed that they had. But good defensive duties and work there that have been done by Letlaku, being one of those players that were left behind whenever there was a corner kick, because he has the speed but doesn't have the height to impact in that attack.
I know it's a bit premature. We're only a quarter of the way through the match, Tega Madisi, but wouldn't it be a massive feather in the cap and a confidence booster for Bernard Parker?
It is indeed.
Sedwin George.
But yet again, there's so much football that still needs to be played.
Absolutely.
So they have to hold on to it. But Mamelodi Sundowns, then they have to, try get back into the game. They will ask those type of questions that they will normally ask, get into right areas. But yet again, it is then they need to continue again, but also making sure that you close at the back for those counter-attacks that the TS Galaxy might show.
There's a number of the players in the starting lineup today. They would fancy themselves to be in the starting lineup on Sunday against Asfar at Loftus Versfeld, then the CAF Champions League. How much pressure would those players be under today to stay away from cards, from injuries, and any sort of problems? TX Galaxy mounting the attack again. that ball looked as if it might be sneaking in the right-hand upright of Williams' goal, judging by his late reaction.
Yeah, you can see here with Debza here trying to turn, losing the ball. High pressure as well that have been applied by TS Galaxy. Look at the numbers that they have going forward. They do have legs, but then look at how dangerous and how difficult that ball was on the ground. They're able to bounce it, force Ronan Williams to go down to be able to make that save for the corner.
Yeah, did appear just to deflect wide in the final reckoning. Sianapulu goes deep. Bunjana with the header. The referee wants the medical staff on. Brian Leon has taken a knock in trying to assist defend that corner kick from Mamelodi Sundowns, but the Colombian is back on his feet. Bunjana's massive tonight so far. Just have to erase from your memory that early scare when he gave the ball away to Arthur Salles. But since then, I think he's been rather special. Looks like Brian Leon's going to be okay. Johannes forward by Mdanyelwa. Salles. A little bit of inventiveness from Makhlambi. Johannes cool, calm and collected. Bunjana trying to return where the ball came from, but no real interest, interestingly enough, from Victor Letsawalo to try and attack the ball on that occasion. And TX Galaxy starting to sit behind the ball. Are they inviting trouble, Teko?
I mean, this is the only way that TS Galaxy can maintain Mamelodi Sundowns, by just being around, behind the ball, managing spaces. That's why we spoke about Mbunjana being the one that also, when they do find those gaps, he will be the one that, gets into that centre-back pairing, because you do have Velasa, you do have George that normally, drops in there to try and mark one of the defensive midfielders from Mamelodi Sundowns. So this is how they're going to play. But then again, it is about Mamelodi Sundowns trying to poke, trying to find solutions within these lines of 4s and 5s.
Ball given away again, this time by Keegan Johannes. Space in the middle for Bunjana. Now he's got to track back. McQueen is a dangerous man in this sort of situation. So is Allende. Salles knocked down to Allende. To Santos, who'd pinged it in earlier. It's a nice combination. Wasn't able to provide the finish, though, the Chilean midfielder. Sidwin George. Opomoto playing much more in the centre of defence now. Fulia Kazulu, Mbunjana. This is Twango. Twango not quite focused enough. Letlaku manages to get the better of him. Mbunjana touched away by Velase, who's playing a much more attacking role tonight than what we ordinarily see from him. And forward by Maduna. An opportunity to press by Kulu. They don't look half bad with the ball at their feet to TX Galaxy.
Yeah, they're the ones who are trying to control the tempo of the game. They are in the lead.
Fans being treated to some exciting football. Leon putting pressure on top of Ira. Well, I'm not sure he's going to get away with that. Sense of frustration, very, very evident indeed amongst the players of Sundowns.
Yeah, you can see here Tape was under pressure, trying to move away from the pressure with that touch as well, but Leon there was forced to create a foul.
Knocked down by Makhlambi. Salles is back to help defensively, but he gets himself caught by Velase. He's blown for a foul. The 23-year-old who played at Lomel in Belgium before signing with Mamelodi Sundowns. His 24th appearance of the season, 20th in the starting lineup tonight. Mokoena finds Allende. Half an hour beckoning in Nelspruit. We are at the Mbombela Stadium. And if you've ever been here, it's very decorative with the seats in the zebra colors and the big metal giraffes around the stadium. 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes from the Rockets. Haven't been front by that margin. Both sides have had 3 creative efforts. Both sides have had 3 shots on target. But those from TX Galaxy have found the back of the net. Sundowns dominating possession, getting nothing out of it. Foul this time by Maklambi.
You can see the pressing traps that TS Galaxy have. Once the ball was traveling high on the air, once the touch as well from Dunyel wasn't as convincing. This man on the picture here, Mashame, put pressure to try to win the ball. So Sundowns needs to be very, very careful with those passes, especially at the back when they're trying to really organize play. They need to be very precise with those passes because they are pressing traps that have been done by TS Galaxy.
20 matches unbeaten since their only loss of the season against Abafana Bestende down in Durban. Nice ball floated in. Sales tries to ping it at the second attempt. Comes up from Velase. This is Sidran George. Oh, just trying to slot it in towards Victor Letsawalo. Williams. Mokoena Mbunjana for company. Santos wide on the left-hand side, trying to provide a little bit of activity, and that's just about a save from Motoong. How he got his bootlaces to that, only he'll know because he was down and stranded. But the pace of the match seems to have picked up a bit.
Yeah.
It's a lovely ball. Brian Leon, Nkwango for company. Did Nkwango bring him down? The referee says high corner. Big reaction from the supporters here. And a good challenge from Zuko and Delnielwa. Mamelodi Sundowns think they have a penalty, thought they had a penalty. Not given by Jelly Chavani. Can you just imagine what the reaction is on social media right now? Letlaku. Allende, Leon back to his feet again. Ball goes wide of Santos. Pick up from Modiba. Allende again. Now Mokoena. And they enjoy to play this sort of possession football. The only difference is between now and 10 minutes ago is that they're playing that maybe 20 yards high up the pitch than what they were earlier. Their launch pad is certainly a lot closer to the goal of Tope Ira than it was in the 23rd minute. Even Johannes is way over the halfway line. Krankekana, they're looking, they're prizing, they're checking out the defense of TX Galaxy to see where the gaps are. And Soles with an error, and I'm starting to think that Soles is not going to be on the pitch for much longer.
No, just one of those moments where, of course, you're chasing the score, and of course, there's a lot of emotion that comes with it. But there's an early chance there with Leon as well. You can see that it wasn't really any touch. You can see when they're trying to drag the ball back. I don't think there was enough contact there for the referee to call it a penalty there.
Brian Leon to his defense, doing the right thing in the penalty area in a situation like this, or any situation, to have gone down and leave the decision up to the match referee. Made the call that didn't please Mamelodi Sundowns. Kikana, as I said, 20 matches unbeaten, 5 draws and 15 victories, 42 goals and only conceding 14 in those last 20 matches in the Betway Premiership unbeaten. And yes, Sundowns were beaten in the Nedbank Cup by TX Galaxy. beaten by Pirates on penalties in the MTN8 as well, and lost against Bafana Bastende. Unbeaten at home, only 2 losses away. Grant Kekana. Watch out for Mokoena from this distance. Away by Zulu. Sidran George. Nice little tickle from him, and an opportunity to attack for Pulu. Fans getting really excited about the prospects every time that TX Galaxy are in possession. Who's had some good runs. Brian Leon's put himself in good positions. Arthur Salas has had some fabulous touches, and he's a tall man. So as a target man, he's working very hard. Allende had to get a wriggle on in defence, Mamelodi Sundowns, because Mpon Velasi, of the age of 37, he's still got the legs, he's still got the hunger. And as we said, playing in a much more forward role tonight for TX Galaxy. We have seen him in this position before, but I don't think at the start of a game.
Yeah, he has been in that number 10 role, but also, and oftentimes you'll see him dropping in back into that 8 role because he does have that work rate.
Allende sees a gap, Brian Leon sees a gap. It's a beautiful piece of defending from Zulu. His confidence, his positioning, it's been wonderful for the 31-year-old. Up against an incredible opposition tonight. 35 matches they played, 22 victories, 11 draws, and only 2 losses in the season. A plus 40 goal difference, which is now plus 38. Velasi's done nicely. Brian Leon will have a free kick. He has been a big part of Letlaku. I don't think they've been singled out, but the challenges have been pretty stern.
Yeah, with Letlaku there was a little bit of a touch there, but possibly the referee was trying to play on. But we're expecting a physical game. We're expecting TX Galaxy to put a little bit of physique, and in certain instances as well, Mamelodi Sundowns have done the same as well. So it is about then who manages the game a little more better, especially when in possession of the ball. And we're expecting Mamelodi Sundowns to do better when in possession of the ball, but yet again, TX Galaxy are making it difficult for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Welcome Mokoena. Again, it's cleared by Mbunjana. Flicked back in, though. Mbunjana does duty for a second time in a row. Santos, space at the back! Brian Leon continues to score, and a goal a match.
The goal comes at the right time. They tried to play this type of balls early on into the game, and they all fell to Tape, who was collecting them, but the second play had been played. Look at their Debs are playing one off of Santos. They're realizing that that man will always be lurking in and around the box. Playing in the right area, this man here with the header punish them and puts Mamelodi Sundowns back into the game.
Absolutely back into the game, and now if they can continue to ride the tide, Mamelodi Sundowns could have finally found the launching pad. It's come late, 38 minutes, but they have a goal back. Goal difference back to a -8 behind Orlando Pirates, but points available asset, and those points haven't been achieved just yet. Brian Leon looking for the little cutback. The handball, penalty. The roar goes up from the Mamelodi Sundowns supporters. A chance to draw level and score 2 goals within 2 minutes of each other. And then the pressure will be right back on the home side.
It is indeed. Expected TX Galaxy to do a little bit better in terms of managing the pressure. But here's the incident here with Leon trying to play the ball there. It hits Velase on the hand, and the hand has been extended. And we know what the rules are when it comes to those type of situations.
Unfortunate for Mpon Velase, trying to explain himself to his teammates. Nothing of that nature is deliberate, but it's all part of the game. And when it's spotted, They all count. Now, Tope Ira made some good saves today. Brian Leon looking to get into double figures as far as his contribution for Mamelodi Sundowns is concerned. 5 minutes in stoppage time away from half-time. Brian Leon, Tope Ira the wrong way, as was the case with Ronwen Williams. Sundowns are level at 2-all with 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes.
Yeah, perfect response for a team that wants to get back into that leading ways and trying to retain the title. Started very bad defensively, conceded 2 early goals. This one here, but the penalty, Leon again steps up to be able to punish TS Galaxy.
You can see how pumped up the Colombian is. Every right to be that way as well. Incredible. 2-0 to TS Galaxy after 18 minutes. Sundowns with 2 goals. One in the 38th, one in the 40th minute. Level at 2 goals all. 10th league goal this season. It's only his 9th appearance in the starting lineup. It is his 15th appearance of the campaign, though. But what a contribution he's going to make. And Sundowns will be reliant on him in the CAF Champions League come Sunday and the week thereafter. Mbunjana knows. And you said it too, Teko Modise, when the second goal was scored by Sedwin George. So much time still remaining in Mamelodi Sundowns. Not 8-time champions for nothing, and not knocking on the door of the 9th consecutive championship, because they have flaws. Yes, every team has flaws, but they minimize things and they never give up, and they've got such a lot of quality.
And also what helps as well is being able to manage the stress that comes with pressure, being able to play under pressure as well. Yes, they didn't start good, but they managed to come back into the game. It's then how then they continue with it.
It's a great ball pinged in by Motoung, very nearly converted as well. So opportunities continue for Letsawalo. One from the penalty spot, and if TS Galaxy had gone in front before half-time again, I think the fans would have got ballistic here. Grant Gekana. Ronwen Williams will be very happy to see that the damage that was done at his end of the pitch has been rectified down the other. Makwena to Sales. Nice touch. It's a good little ball in from Ndumyelwa. Now they open up with the Nuno Santos. Modiba. Motoung clears. Leon dummies the defence and happily settles for the corner. What an atmosphere there is in Nelspruit this evening.
Yeah, you spoke earlier on it, so then the intensity of the game has gone up a little bit. I think with all the goals that we've seen, both teams now opening up, so the intensity, it's what exactly brings this electrifying game to life.
Modiba. Santos trying to flick it into that area, looking for another handball, potentially. Nice header away. Once again by Motoung. No danger for Tope Ira. Offside against TS Galaxy. Surprised the players can hear the whistle in the cacophony of what is not quite a full-packed Mbombela Stadium, but I tell you what, the fans at Oini are making a heck of a racket, and rightly so. All of a sudden it's a different ball game, and all of a sudden I think there'll be much more attention being paid by the undoubtedly Orlando Pirates players that are watching this, as well as coach Abduslam Wadu. Match is still to come for Pirates against Durban City this weekend at home, against Orbit College away in week 30, the 23rd. The league table. See Sundowns eke their advantage out by a single point, but 4 points clear of Orlando Pirates, and the goal difference is back to a +7. That is how we entered this encounter. They'll want to do a bit more than that. Zulu Kontita corner. Brian Leon's on fire. All of a sudden a different expression on the face of Bernard Parker. organising his defences. Grant Kakana, 33-year-old, former Tuks player, former Supersport United player. I think he ping-ponged between the two sides on a couple of occasions during his career before settling at Sundowns. 4 minutes added on into the first half. Allende knocks the ball behind the defenders. Nicely away by Mbunjana once again. Mokoena Motiba somehow cleared by Mvelasi, and the ball reached him at an awkward height. Mvelasi, who conceded the penalty. What a great start by TX Galaxy. And that's all been eclipsed and equalised by this very, very quality Mamelodi Sundowns side. Oh, the ball's been left to bounce in the middle of the park by Maduna. Eventually he tied it up there, though, by Nkwango. Oh, and it's back into the area as well. They're having to react quickly here. Motoong reacts the quickest. Big chase on between Ndunyelwa and Seluleko Maklambi. I think Maklambi's been a bit over-enthusiastic. TX Galaxy fans not happy that one of their favourite sons has been blown for a foul, but foul it is. 90 seconds of stoppage time played. Miguel Cardoso playing in his 86th match in charge of Mamelodi Sundowns, looking for his 55th victory and his second league title with the side, and consecutive CAF Champions League finals as well. Don't forget last season losing to the Egyptian side Pyramids after having beaten the Egyptian giants luckily in the semi-finals. Sundowns having seen off Esperance de Tunis in the semi-finals this time around, and Moroccan opposition waiting. North versus South affair. Corner taken, punched away by Tapeira. Just enough of a touch on it from Maklambi. Letlaku playing a dangerous game in front of Victor Letsawalo, and this should be easy for the Ivorian-born goalkeeper. Two goals for both sides during the first half really sets it up rather nicely for the second 45 minutes, the crucial one. Litsawalo just backing into Johannes, a clash of heads. Johannes comes off second best. Little Litsawalo with an opportunity. Oh my word. Matuna with a great chance, and not able to hold on to his footing was the 26-year-old. Free kick allowed to be taken quickly, and Velasi's done beautifully. The shot should have been on target. Disappointing. 30 seconds away from half-time in Nelspruit. It's been an incredible first half so far, and it all set up beautifully for some more of the same during the second. Saleh's intervention from Maklambi. More frustration from Mamelodi Sundowns, and that is rightly a yellow card, and it's all starting to get a little bit overcooked, and suddenly the tempers flare. Oh, there was a foot in there. I don't think that was too nice at all. Leon is looking for some clemency, and heads are being lost in the middle of the park, and I think Motoong needs to contain himself. The assistant referee is coming into it as well, and Bunjana and Nkwango. It's a time of the season where, yes, there are going to be emotions that come into the thick of things, but not at this level. Pray on Leon getting involved with something with Opa Motoong. Looks as if the free kick's been given to TX Galaxy. Breon Leon with a yellow card will miss the next encounter. which will be next season. Pick up his fourth yellow card at the end of the season. That's all carried forward to the next campaign. So he won't start the season if he stays with Sundowns. Brian Leon having a chat with the referee again, just asking the Brazilian to cool it. Let's have a look how this all perpetrated then. Yeah, well, I can understand he was frustrated with the outstretched leg coming from Seluleko Maklambi. In the meantime, Letsawako. Another wasted opportunity for TX Galaxy. Four minutes were initially added on. The referee's played 5.5, but he does blow for half-time. Does Jelly Chivani. He's had his hands full on a few occasions with emotions spilling over. Brian Leon has scored a brace, but he's also allowed his temperament to just stray away from him just a little. And yeah, one does understand the frustration of being knocked over by his opponent, and then a little niggly challenge from Seluleko Maklambi. It was a really great start for TX Galaxy in the first half. Letsawalo with Doso and Nuno Santos, I beg your pardon. It's going to be the Rockets who will get us underway with Sedwin George, who scored the second goal in the 18th minute for TX Galaxy before the massive fight back from Mamelodi Sundowns. 2-2 at half-time. What is the second half going to produce? Don't appear to be any changes made by either Bernard Parker or by Miguel Cardoso in the second half. Opportunity for Velase, and the same pattern repeats itself again and again. Checo Modise.
We just said that they don't want to, they shouldn't get into the second half, conceding early on into the game. And maybe also the TX Galaxy will look at then how they started the game early on in the first half, the first 18 minutes or 20 minutes or so. They were very dominant, pressing high up the pitch. They started exactly like that. They found themselves leading it again in the second half. Look at here, the winning the ball with the speed. Maduna also realizing that Velase being open on the other side as well. They were caught napping, that is Mamelodi Sundowns defense. And TX Galaxy were able to punish.
You'll be a happy man, will Velase be? Because don't forget it was his handball that gave the penalty to Mamelodi Sundowns and the equalising goal 5 minutes before half-time. So, yeah, he gets a moment that he can take advantage of. And TX Galaxy are just not going away. Sundowns want them to go away, but they're not. I'm happy that they're not. I mean, this is a great game of football.
It is indeed. The two sides that are, looks like they really, really want to win the game. And Mamelodi Sundowns under pressure for them to really get back into that, extending the points at the top of the table. But yet TX Galaxy have so many questions, and yet finding so many solutions for themselves on the pitch. They're able to keep finding themselves in the lead. Let's see if they can really, really contain this lead.
Careless little kick on Aubrey Modiba presents a free kick for Mamelodi Sundowns. This is Modiba, goes behind Allende. Opportunity for the counter-attack again. A little miscue from Kulu, but there's players over the halfway line, and both Letsawalo and Maklambi offside. It does get the fans on their feet though.
It does. It is exciting for the fans, and I'm sure for TX Galaxy fans realizing that looking at the side as well, not maybe being more defensively, but also finding themselves in an attacking and scoring goals. It is exciting indeed.
Mamelodi Sundowns will stay top of the table for a couple of days. They're 68 points, 3 clear of Mamelodi Sundowns on the live table at the moment. Modiba with a chance! Ball was spilled, but Zulu continues to be impressive today. Knocks it away from in front of his goalkeeper. He had a good first half. He's got to be tighter in the second. Really has to be switched on. The 28-year-old Ivorian-born goalkeeper. Kekana, Santos, Johannes. Very high line being played by Mamelodi Sundowns. Quick ball as well. One wonders if, as far looking at this match, apparently the opponents for Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Champions League final had the footage of the match against Siwilele just moments after the match had finished, but I'm sure it's available on international feeds. Mamelodi Sundowns no doubt doing the same thing. That's good defending from Mbunchana. Interesting that Letlaku seems to have just moved over a little bit onto the left-hand side.
See here with the early opportunity there with Aubrey Modiba. Great passage of play from the left-hand side. I'm sure that Leon was really looking inside the box there, but yeah, Tape pulling another save. Zulu making sure that he clears that ball from danger.
Zulu in a rather heated conversation with Mbunchana. Saleh's Allende had made a little run, but not picked out by his Brazilian counterparts. Modiba gets rid of two TX Galaxy players. That's a really good piece of skill from Modiba. Not able to find Nuno Santos. Back it came with Matuna. Offside. Bernard Parker is just about to ask the question of Romeo Matipidi, the near-side assistant referee. Changed his mind, showing some discipline in the coach's box. This is a big occasion for Bernard Parker. This is only for the 5th match, including the Nedbank Cup final, that is in charge of a Premier League side. And while he had great accolades as a player, this is a different ball game, isn't it?
It is a different ball game indeed, and I'm sure that I mean, it takes on to a team that hasn't really had a great season, under pressure. You know, his second game is in the cup final, and he's yet to get maximum points as a coach. And then this also a big game for him, exciting game for him. I'm sure that he wants his team to hold on to his lead.
Most goals that his side have got. Matuna now through the middle, still Matuna. Mokoena careless. He tried to pull himself away from the challenge, but that almost looked like tired legs. Mokoena claiming innocence. It's a great position for a free kick. Jelly Chavani perpetually wears a smile on his face.
There was a contact there from Mokoena there on Matuna.
20 tackles made already in the match, 17 fouls. 17 of the 30 tackles made by TX Galaxy, the Rockets. Pressure here on the goal of Ronwen Williams, and Mbunchana has teed this one up. Does have 2 goals this season. Does the veteran midfielder. And the fans on both sides waiting, one anxiously, one in anticipation. Mbunchana through the wall. It's a fearsome shot, you know.
Yeah, I think with so much venom and power there from Mbunchana, he couldn't get it on target. But it was a good distance for him. I think maybe it was, I thought actually he was going to just go over the wall, because I look at the angle that he positioned himself before taking the ball.
TX Galaxy have not been behind in this encounter. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns, and he spoke about the substitutions that Mamelodi Sundowns made at half-time against Siwilele, and now changes are coming as well. Arthur Saleh is making way. The place will be taken by the very pacey Tashrik Matthews. Got Grant Kekana, who makes way as well. Kuluman in Demande will take his place. Marcelo Allende will make way for Miguel Rezinho. So almost a situation of like for like, but fresh pairs of legs, and immediately there's a touch. We'll for the man who signed from Boavista, Portuguese-born Miguel Rezinho, who's had very little game time since signing for Mamelodi Sundowns. It's only his 6th match in the Betway Premiership and 2nd off the bench. 1 goal for the 27-year-old. Came in a 2-0 victory against Orbit College in March. But his space available for Matthews. Ball away by Motong. Don't forget, Matthews scored a brace against Siwilele. Leon scored a hat-trick. Well, he's got a brace tonight, and wouldn't it be incredible if Brayon Leon had to score a hat-trick tonight? And not sure when last in the Premier League you've had back-to-back hat-tricks. Well, it's quite possible tonight. Ball cleared away by Zulu once again. It should be a corner. TX Galaxy know for sure that they're going to soak up oodles of pressure in the remaining minutes of the second half, and there's plenty of them.
And yeah, with this man here, they do hope that it's not a serious injury, because he's such an important player for TX Galaxy, especially when they break. Now you realize that now they're in the lead as well in the second half. They've resorted again to the defensive block, and this man, whenever it comes to those breaks, it becomes such an important one.
Yeah, it was something on the breakaway as he moved. It's either a hamstring or a groin, one fancies, but they'll miss him. Siluleko Maklambi, thumbs up from the medical staff, and he limps off to try and recover. Does the 21-year-old. He's come through the junior ranks here. I'm sure he wants to get on as soon as possible. They're down to 10 men at the moment. Ball across the face of the goal. Matthews can't find a way through. Or was it Johannes? I think it was the latter. In the meantime, Velase, Letsawalo, nice containment. Sidwin George, nicely cleared by Letlaku. Mokoena. Oh, I thought that was ball first, but the referee wants the player in the office, and that's Veluyeke Zulu. I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble here.
You can see where the referee is positioning the ball, because the initial foul happened earlier on, and they allowed to play it to play on, giving advantage to the attacker who has Tibbs, and then eventually when he lost the ball, and then he was blown for a foul.
Sidwin George being requested by the referee to move the requisite distance away from the free kick to be taken by Nuno Santos. Nicely away by Veluyeke Zulu. TX Galaxy are committing a number of challenges here today. There's another yellow card. This time it's Tumaduna. And every touch defensively from a TX Galaxy player is celebrated almost as a victory for TX Galaxy and their supporters. Letlaku starting well behind the halfway line. Modiba, Rezinho, Nuno Santos. Clearance by Pulu. Back comes Mpon Velase. Bunjana. Strong challenge in there as well. And ball turned over very nicely by Kulman Indamane, the 22-year-old who played at TX Galaxy before signing with Sundowns in a big signing. The pace is uncompromising, the physicality probably in the same category, and the players are feeling it. Maklambi, not for the first time, finds himself on the ground, and Kwango comes over to find out if his teammate's okay. wonders how much longer he's going to be on the pitch. Betway is loading for Orlando Pirates. Well, they've got to win a couple of matches first. Lock table as it stands. Mamelodi Sundowns on the same amount of points as which they came into this encounter. Now the goal difference is +8 in favour of Orlando Pirates. We have 2 matches in hand. Bunjana might be in trouble here. He's claiming his innocence. Letlaku suddenly back on the attack and back on the right-hand side, in which he's been more prominent for Sundowns. Bunjana with an apology. These free kicks are always concerning and dangerous. Mamelodi Sundowns have the height of Reisinho. They have the height of Damane. Ball punched away by goalkeeper Tapeire. There might have been a collision between goalkeeper and defender, and it certainly is. Brian Leon certainly feeling the pain in the lower rib area. But hasn't Zulu been special tonight, Teko?
Yeah, he has been solid in that defensive pairing. You know that there's a team that has been struggling defensively. One of the few players as well that played, a few games for TS Galaxy, especially in that position. But whenever there is an area ball that is played in that box, he's always the man that challenges for them.
Oh, a little bit sleepy on the ball there was Reisinho. No problems for Motong. Letsawalo. Motong forward. No run from Sidwin George. We've had an hour of football in Nelspruit. The ball hasn't gone dead, and TX Galaxy are looking to make a couple of changes. And Damani. Reisinho. Johannes Mokoena. He can strike them from this distance, has done in the past. It's a lovely ball, Modiba. Arriving in the penalty, but twisting and turning, eventually ending up with your back towards the deliverer. I don't think it's the best technique from the double goal scorer. There's our winner of Sibonise and win tonight, Colin Nkumalo. Picks up 20 thou. Substitutions for TX Galaxy. They bring on Junior Zindoga, 27-year-old former Murumo Gallants, a Zimbabwean. And Patrick Fisher is the right-sided fullback. He'll come on for Tianda Kpulu. And Seluleko Maklambi limps off with that injury. His place taken by the Zimbabwean. But he's had a good match, and congratulations all around from Bernard Parker. I don't think I need to remind you at home that the Mamelodi Sundowns goals came in the last 7 minutes of the first half. We're not anywhere near the final 7 minutes of the second half. We're not even 20 minutes into the second half as yet. Matthews. Motong back to Ira. Target man gets a bit of a headache for his trouble from Reisinho with Sidwin George. The referee will blow because it's a head injury. But unfortunate maybe because the ball had popped out nicely out towards Junior Zindoga, who's taken a bit of position on the right flank.
I can see there was he got caught by Johannes there, just trying to pick the ball. Both players fixed their eyes on the ball.
Not an uncommon footballing injury. Seen a lot more, I suppose, in penalty areas from set pieces and the like than in open play. The worried look of Miguel Cardoso. Does he see all the hard work that's been done this year come undone here in Nelspruit? Well, I wouldn't write him off just yet, and I wouldn't write Mamelodi Sundowns off just yet. Don't forget what happened during the first half. Punjana gives the ball away. Opportunity for Brian Leon. Santos. Even Zindoga comes back to do a spot of defending. That's a nice take from Tope Ira. The fans are getting so excited about defensive work from TX Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, they are challenged. I mean, you're playing against a side that really, it is a free scoring. So whenever you do something very great defensively, and there's a team that has been struggling, of course, and Tap has been very, very important in today's game. I mean, pulling 2 great saves early on into the game. So every ball that has been coming there in the box, when he feels like he can reach it, is very convincing coming out to actually grab those balls.
Mpon Velasi was paying attention to the trickery of Aubrey Modiba. Heading up towards the 20th minute in the second half. TX Galaxy lead Mamelodi Sundowns. They've never been behind today so far. Led 2-0, 2-2 at half-time. Scored in the very opening minute of the second half through a man whose handball gave Mamelodi Sundowns the penalty and the equalising goal before the half-time break. Modiba in space again. Trying to sneak his way past Patrick Fisher. Played for 2 Cape sides, Cape Town Spurs and City. Mokoena with some trickery. Ndamani. TX Galaxy looked very, very motivated indeed. Mokoena sneaks through a gap. It's a lovely ball. Modiba has been excellent tonight. Mokoena shoveled off the ball by Punjana, looking for a penalty. Jelly Chivani is halfway inside the half already. Zulu clears. Modiba, Santos, Fisher, 23 years old. Signed from Cape Town City when they were relegated to the first division. Oh, there was a little bit of space available to Letlaku. Just a little bit late getting off his blocks there, and well done by Mtwando. Mvelase. One would swear this is a cup final of some sort, and TX Galaxy know all about cup finals, having played twice in the Nedbank Cup final, one as winners, one as second places. But what a tremendous atmosphere. It's a Tuesday night. There'll be more coming over the weekend with 7 matches. No way through for Nuno Santos. Punjana. Santos fights back. The referee says continue. Matthews. Modiba. Came off Zulu. Matthews has taken a knock, and they want some sort of card. They're going to get a card too. Fisher's only been on the park a couple of minutes. Big smile on the face of the referee still. I'm sure that Miguel Cardoso wanted Fisher sent off.
Yeah, I think this one earlier on, that's where Mbunjana lost the ball, and then here, this is where the whole incident is, where Fisher was caught a little bit late there with that, a little bit of a toe poke there from Matthews.
He's trying to make a clearance, and the follow-through catches his opponent. And for the life of me, I couldn't convince myself that would have been a red card. But Mamelodi Sundowns are looking for any sort of advantage they can get. We're halfway through the second half already, you know.
Yeah, they know that they need to get back into the game. The pressure's mounting. They understand that now they're chasing time, they're playing against time, and I'm sure TX Galaxy will try and slow down things and, you know, minimize, you know, opportunities that Mamelodi Sundowns may create.
Referee drops the ball back to Tope Ira. I was wondering if we were going to see Ikram Reyners tonight. He's on the bench for Mamelodi Sundowns, and second in the Golden Boot in the Betway Premiership. In the meantime, is an opportunity for glory. Difficult to shoot on the turn like that, but nice effort anyway. Pisikla Maduna. Played for Amazulu and Cape Town Spurs, the 26-year-old. Well, there's the opportunities, 8 apiece. 7 out of 8 on target from Mamelodi Sundowns. 50% for TX Galaxy. Offside against the Rockets. Not prepared to just sit behind the halfway line. Ball forward by Ndunyelwa. Rezinho. Damani. Modiba. He's been so special tonight as Aubrey Modiba. Rezinho. Matthews creates a little bit of space for himself. Surely has to pull the trigger and does. So he might have left it a tad late.
He did. I think there was enough space and time being given to him, but I think he was just anticipating a round either from Leon or Letlaku on the right-hand side. But he was given space. He did well there to be able to turn in enough spaces and be able just to charge in.
Dibra again. Matuna. That's foul play from Rezinho. We haven't had a look at Tim Galaxy tonight, but I'm sure he normally sits down just below our com box here. I'm sure that he's a bundle of nerves. I don't think Rezinho can have too many complaints about the free kick that's been given to TX Galaxy. Now it's a little knock in the elbow. Bernard Parker having a chat to the fourth official, who tonight is Olani Quinda. Mamelodi Sundowns not quite reaching for the tissues just yet. But if this match doesn't go their way, as far as a winning result is concerned, and Orlando Pirates beat Durban City on Saturday, then it's done. The Betway Premiership with a match remaining.
Indeed, they know that this game, there's so much at stake. So much time as well. Maybe they need to take solace in the fact that later on in the second half, they really were able to come back in quick succession. But then again, they need to find that rhythm back again. That's why you see a lot of changes that Coach Cardoso have made, trying to get back that rhythm that they needed. And we haven't really seen Matthews as well inside the game, Leon as well in the second half, Letlaku as well in the second half. So there's a lot of players that really need to come to the fore if Mamelodi Sundowns have to get back into the game.
Totally. Just how much commitment is there? We know how much is required.
Yeah.
How much is there? Because our players also saving something for the weekend. Brian Leon says, forget about the weekend, I'm on a hat-trick here in successive matches. Maybe there is a statistician around that can tell us in the Betway Premiership if there have been successive hat-tricks in one season. I'll have a look. I'll keep a look on my Twitter account at Rocky All Sports if you have that sort of information available. In the meantime, the danger for Mamelodi Sundowns is exactly the sort of situation. Letsawalo and Fisher had gone on the overrun. Mvelase. Second ball will be for Motoung. Takes his time, does the blonde-headed central defender. Back it comes with Tashrik Matthews, wide by Letlaku. Just too many touches backward at the moment. They'll be very mindful of the time remaining for Mamelodi Sundowns. This would be a massive blow to the title aspirations and 9 Betway Premiership titles in a row if they were to fall short here. And for them to win tonight, Mamelodi Sundowns, they have to score twice.
Yeah, you have to score twice indeed.
Without reply.
Yeah.
But there's a chance. Letlaku might very well be kept in play, and is Bunchana, the right time at the right place. Chance for Rezinho. It's a good save, you know.
A good save indeed. I mean, Rezinho did well to find space and the tight area, and also to be able to squeeze it in when he was so much under pressure. But Tapi again becomes such an important member there at the back, keeping the team alive.
Teboka Mokoena. Santos into Mvelase. Zindoga filling that role on the right-hand side. Space for Nuno Santos. Much more central goal. Tebza through the middle. Little slider into that middle of the park of Eliyeke. On duty once again. He's been so solid. Serious-looking chairman, as you would expect. All the hopes and aspirations, money spent. Ikram Reynez. Ntanti Nkosi. Nkosi has been waiting on the touchline for absolute ages before the ball goes out of play. Now Ikram Reynez with 12 goals to his credit. He's only one behind Sede Dion from Abafana Bestende, the Montfort Golden Arrows in the Golden Boot competition. Reynez has more goals in all competitions with 15 to Dion's 14, but in the Betway Premiership it's Sede Dion who holds sway. And finally, Nkosi's going to come on for Sidwin George, who scored the goal that put TX Galaxy up after 18 minutes. And for Mamelodi Sundowns, they're going to relinquish Zuko Ndunyawa. So it looks like all attack here from Mamelodi Sundowns. Reynez is on. 26th appearance of the season, goes into double figures as a substitute. Mbunjana covers the ground. Kept in play by Matthews. Aubrey Mutiba. Mokoena. Santos. Topeira denies the Colombian a hat-trick. And Damani goes back to Keegan Johannes. We over half an hour elapsed in the second half of what has been a pulsating encounter in Nelspruit. Mutiba, very much a left-footed player. Mokoena, pretty much a right-footed one. Johannes. Santos. Patience from Mamelodi Sundowns. Organisation from the Rockets. Mvelase has dropped right back now from the place where he scored a goal just after half-time. And Zindoga's away here. Oh, I'll tell you what, Nuno Santos did well not to commit that challenge. Zindoga. Still Zindoga. Mbunjana. Does Maduna pull the trigger? No, Mbunjana. Patrick Fisher. It's not a bad ball, you know. Zindoga. Can't thread the eye of the needle past Keegan Johannes, and now the attack will be reverted to Mamelodi Sundowns, and the activity continues. And Mtwango with a great challenge.
Yeah, now it's an open game now. It's attack after attack. See there with the TS Galaxy having that opportunity there with Zindonga. They could have done better there, especially with Johannes was the only one that was left behind. I think better decision making could have done better, but Mamelodi Sundowns on the ball now in attack.
Nice little slider from Motiba, looking for the return pass. And Matthews denied by Motaung. Rayon Leon miscues completely. And now there's an opportunity. Once again, Sundowns building. Damani. Matthews. Modiba, is there one fantastic ball that's going to pay dividends here? Mokoena! Closed down by Nkosi. Mamelodi Sundowns are coming. I do have news from a fan of football, and thanks very much to Tommy. Peter Shalolile, the only player to score back-to-back hat-tricks in the Betway Premiership in the 2021-22 season. Not sure who the opposition was, but there you have your answer, and it's quite recent. Peter Shalolile, what a legend. Ikram Reyners, Nuno Santos, Fisher. And the keeper comes out and sort of half punches the ball to safety. Danger is not averted, because it is a set piece. Wow, what a performance from TX Galaxy. Deep near post. Clearance is made by Mvelasi. Matthews, Santos. Pinged away by Maduna. Matthews. Was that offside or was there contact? I think there must have been a push in there.
No, it was judged as a handball from Matthews when the ball came back from being defended, trying to control it. I think it was in between the chest and the hand. The referee said a handball.
One has to give a lot of credit to the effort that is being made here by Mamelodi Sundowns. They need to have reward for it. 10 minutes in stoppage time. The TX Galaxy on the brink of being safe. Oh, it's Tsapeleng. Ndamani, I beg your pardon. Tsapeleng's playing on down the other side. This is Ndamani. Modiba, Santos. Matthews, I beg your pardon, it's Johannes. Ball's driven with some purpose towards Modiba. It's a very nice first touch from the fullback. With the space available to Nuno Santos. Good cover from Guango. The defense of TX Galaxy have been outstanding tonight. Headed away by Mbunjana. In fact, it's not, but he's taken a big knock at some Guango. And immediately he went down.
There was that contact after the header there with Leon trying to attack that ball.
Sundowns about to relieve Kutlwano Letlaku of his duties, and Tsapeleng just returned from Dallas in the United States, but comes from the Stars of Africa Academy under coach Farouk Khan, where he was for a number of years before being loaned out to Kaizer Chiefs. Mvelasi, long lecture from Bernard Parker. I can tell you, by the way, just going back to that back-to-back hat-tricks in the Betway Premiership, Peter Shalolile in the 21-22 season was against Swallows and Arrows in consecutive matches. Thank you for that information. Tommy, Rezinho, Mvelasi, Sintoka! Doesn't only miss penalties, Deco. He has a chance to redeem himself here. Good save. Sundowns under massive pressure, but now they have a chance with Reyners. Matthews ranging on the left-hand side. There's a bit of space on the right, though. Reyners taps it back to who? He was expecting somebody to be ranging in the background, maybe Mokwena. Nobody there. offside against TX Galaxy. And this game continues just to rise and rise and rise in the activities, the performance.
Yeah, the game is just too open for TS Galaxy to be able to seize those opportunities and be able to punish, and also for Mamelodi Sundowns, the miscommunication from Rangers, realizing that Debza was behind, maybe trying to leave the ball for Debza to maybe have a shot outside the box there. Unfortunately, that didn't come off well.
Worried faces on the bench of Mamelodi Sundowns. Chairman himself there, just to the left-hand side of the screen, was Trapattoni. Allende. It's going to be a massive, massive blow to Mamelodi Sundowns. And even if they are to grab an equaliser, because don't forget their 2 goals before half-time came in the final 7 minutes. Well, that's where we are right now. And even if they do grab an equaliser, it'll only be 1 more point at 69 points. And Pirates obviously still have the job to do against Durban City and Orbit College. Brian Leon still on a hat-trick. Oh, that's fabulous possession. Bunjana pings it forward. 5 minutes in stoppage time. Away from a massive shock. And back-to-back victories over Mamelodi Sundowns. 1 in the cup. And 1 in league competition for TX Galaxy, but it's not all over yet. Patrick Fisher's done well. The ball hasn't gone out of play. I think it has actually. Mamelodi Sundowns pushing, prizing, using every effort to try and grab that equalising goal. And for a moment, the defence was sort of half-breached. Whacked away by Mpum Velase. What's going to be fascinating for us in a couple of minutes' time is how much added time there's going to be from referee Shelly Chavani. And it's all building up to a massive, massive crescendo. And then all the pressure will revert to Orlando Pirates and coach Abdeslam Wadu. Zulu again. Matuna. Velasi. Caught by Brian Leon. He's not going to get away with that. And Rezinha misses anyway.
Just a lot of frustrations from Mamelodi Sundowns side. Trying to get back that equaliser. And here TS Galaxy making those changes just to try and kill off the game, I guess.
They bring off a man who's done a good job in the midfield today. Sipisikle Maduna and Makama Rantwa is going to come on. The referee wants Maduna to get a wriggle on. And Velasi's got something to say about it as well. 2.5 minutes and stoppage time remaining in Nelspruit. TX Galaxy beat Mamelodi Sundowns on the 21st of February by 2 goals to 0 in the Nedbank Cup second round. Matuna gets a well-deserved huge hug from the coach. I can't imagine he'll be able to find words when he chats to Wazisi Kubu come full-time. If this status remains as it is, Bernard Parker, surely one of his greatest successes. Certainly as coach, but as player and coach, yeah.
Very huge moment for TS Galaxy, a team that has been struggling 13 games without a win. Coming here with Mamelodi Sundowns that is desperate to be able to always be on the lead, and forcing Mamelodi Sundowns to chase the game. It is a big playing form at TS Galaxy.
And up to 31 points and away from any danger of promotion, playoffs, relegation, all gone. Even with a draw today. Mokoena. Modiba. Despite a fabulous game played by Aubrey Modiba, Sundowns are just about a minute away and stoppage time of the inconceivable coming into this encounter, considering the seasons that the two teams have had. Brian Leon, in the meantime, still backs himself entirely. Goes behind Rezinho, mistaken defense! Oh my word, not punished. First mistake he's made tonight. Vele Kazulu.
Great opportunity for Mamelodi Sundowns. Leon, who normally is the one that receives the balls inside the box. There it is, Galaxy unable to clear, and Rezinho with a turn. Unable to put the ball in the back of the net there.
We hear that 5 minutes is going to be added on to the end of the second half in Nelspruit. That'll please Miguel Cardoso far more than it'll please Bernard Parker. Lots still to do. Brian Leon with a foul on Zulu. Free kick to TX Galaxy. He's got to keep his head. He's got to keep his composure. No time to get emotional now. Zulu takes the free kick. Modiba. Ndamani. Continue to reiterate the pedigree of Mamelodi Sundowns, built over years and years and years of success, not only domestically but in the CAF Champions League. 1 star for them in 2016. Is there to be another come the second leg of the CAF Champions League against Asfar in 10 days' time, or a bit more than 10 days maybe. Nice challenge again from Motong. I've been impressed with Opa Motong today. It's been a team effort though. Oh, Fisher's on a yellow card. Needs to be careful. And the Rainers can't pick up from Matthews. And it's all going pear-shaped with 4 minutes remaining. Rainers not happy.
Yeah, I can see that they're trying to get back into the game. They're trying to create enough opportunities. But the frustration that TS Galaxy are creating at the back there. A lot of miscommunication from Mamelodi Sundowns, but solid defensive work, solid hard work that's been done by TS Galaxy at the back.
The chants of the fans is getting louder and louder in Nelspruit from the team that predominantly wears, or the supporters that predominantly wear red. And the Pirate supporters, of course, would have joined into that chorus, because surely now the balance of power in the Betway Premiership has swung. It hasn't changed yet. The Pirates still have to win a couple of football matches.
Yeah.
Wide by Nuno Santos. Zindoga turned. Great header away from the danger zone. Nkosi doing a good job, and the tide fluctuates and flows, and the defense knocks it up to halfway. Mamelodi Sundowns contrive to have it back, and Fisher's done a good job here. And they'll have a throw in as well. A little apology from the ever-professional Aubrey Modiba. He'll take his time here with the throw. Well, Patrick Fisher can't be too clever with it. He's already on a yellow card. We're halfway through stoppage time period added on by the match referee, Ikram Rainers. Nice little pick-up from Tundi and Nkosi. Now it's Zindoga. Big acceleration from Zindoga. And I think that was almost simulation.
It is. I think that's what the referee picked up. But I guess Zindoga always looking dangerous whenever the ball go forward. He was substituted for Matambi, so he's expected to use that speed going forward.
Mokoena, the header was completely and totally necessary and well performed by Opa Motong. There's 2 minutes remaining. Mokoena tried a little slider, can't get past Mbunjana. Brian Leon, no movement at all. from the right-hand side of the attack of Mamelodi Sundowns. Sabileng hesitant in the attack. Mamelodi Sundowns almost in tears. However, they will still be at the top of the table by 3 points, Mamelodi Sundowns. Even if they lose this encounter, Orlando Pirates still have to play against Durban City. They still have to play against Albert College. Mvelase, oh, it's the free kicks given away by Matthews. And with a minute remaining, one has to start feeling now